Javon Bullard out of Georgia. We're going to talk about a guy with a clutch gene. Here's a guy with a clutch gene, Javon Bullard. Again, out of Georgia, 5'11", 195 pounds, 21 years old. You notice there's a theme of like smaller safeties in this draft.
Or the past 2 years, but whatever.
Well, last year was receivers. The safeties were decent size. Maybe that's to compete with these smaller receivers.
I was about to say they have to be smaller to compete with them.
I guess so. In 22, 14 games, 46 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 passes defended, 1 fumble recovered. 23, 12 games, 56 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 interceptions, 5 passes defended there. 82.8 PFF grade. Again, we're talking SEC 82.8, guys.
Pretty
I have to specify that every time we have a good SEC player because I just have such respect for that group there. Played mostly, almost exclusively in the slot in 22. And, he was a big part of Georgia's run in 22. He was one of their, MVPs there of that run. And then came out and went to the safety position at that point and just crushed it this past year. Here's his positions by spot there, stats by position in 23. 3 times at the line, 144 times at slot, 7 times at corner, 80 in the box, 362 in the deep coverage. I want Miami to take notice. When a guy excels at something, you utilize him. You notice what they did there. 83 snaps between the box and the line. Not 150, 83. There's a big difference. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Maybe I am. It is what it is. But I'm still on Miami messing things up. Anyway, pros and cons here. Pros, good length, great instincts, and just absolutely great in coverage. As far as his cons, inconsistent at times. Like every so often, he just makes a play, and you're like, what was that? Like, that's not a play this guy makes. This is not a mistake that he makes. He just is that guy, and he's going to be a head-scratcher moment every so often for him. Light size, not the best on angles there. But overall, he's great in coverage, and that's something that I think teams are looking at more and more. It used to be, can you cover a running back or a tight end, and can you stop the run? Now it's you better be able to cover guys like a corner almost, because you got guys coming from all over the place. You have tight ends that come out like 210 pounds at that point. They're not like the 250 guys that are blocking at the line anymore. This position has changed in the last couple of years, because this is a guy, to be very frank with you, would probably have to start at outside corner a couple of years ago, and probably couldn't hack it like he can at this position. He's meant for this type of position. So I think he's a good, player that I think he's going to develop into a very much an above average kind of player. And I think as we talk about Xavier McKinney, that's a good comp actually for him. He's a guy who's could play the deep the best, can go ahead and be consistent, but he's never probably going to be the Pro Bowl All-Pro kind of player. I just don't think he necessarily has that in him. But I say that a lot because, quite frankly, I hate saying that about people that are in the draft. I hate people go, this is a guaranteed Pro Bowl caliber player.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed. Exactly. Nothing is. And I don't like to put those kind of high, kind of views on these kids who's never played a single game in the NFL yet. But I think he'll be an above average safety in this league. And that's not too shabby at that point to get. I think like second to third round he'll go. It just depends on how valued the safety position is by teams this offseason. It also depends on that, the very first player we're going to talk about in a minute ago, where he goes. So we'll have to find out there. So
thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.